This is a medical emergency. Okay, this is actually an insane fucking story. If you guys have not been following this, we need to get as much attention to this as possible, even though it already has 2.2 million views over on X. But this is a medical emergency. I'm in touch with Alexis. If you are a specialist in immunology and are available for a phone consultation or a phone consult right now with Alexis, please reply and follow me so we can DM ASAP. They are giving her nothing but pain meds, and this appears to be an autoimmune reaction. Nurse Erin. So this is to give context. I was just reading this. This girl went into the hospital. She was having headaches or migraines. She didn't have all her vaccines that, like we get when when I got when I was a kid, like the hepatitis B one, and they kind of pump you full with a bunch of vaccines when you're first born. And Alexis supposedly did not have this. Maybe it'll go into this, but they started pumping her with 3 vaccines at once, and then all of a sudden, this was her reaction. Nurse Erin at Erin_BSN says, have you ever seen what's happened to Alexis at UCI Irving Medical Hospital? She's been fighting for her life right now, injured by 3 vaccines. At once, the hospital's doing nothing to help her. She's been gaslit and neglected. She even had to pee in a bucket because no one would assist her. Lexi is having treatment for PNH, but they forced her to take those vaccines first. This is absolutely unacceptable. We need accountability to help save her life. Okay, hold on. Where is that original story? Genuinely don't believe I have more than 3 days left to live. Yo, what is going... The amount of swelling up here. There's something that's going on in her brain. Face is getting much wider and my eyes are opening a little bit. The redness underneath are worse though. Yeah, I mean, like, look at her eye. Oh my god. Her head probably is gonna explode. Dude, what is happening to this poor girl? Yo, that's actually insane. Okay, we can go more on this because we kind of have like an update. Breaker's latest update from Alexis is her medical records and fundraiser. She has no insurance. Okay, so this is real. I thought there was going to be more to this. I apologize. Her and her platelet counts are super low. As you can see, they didn't do anything to treat this. They're giving her painkillers. She's being transferred to UC Irvine Health. Yeah, as you can see, low. Yeah, we can see on our chart right here. Everything down here towards the bottom, that tends not to be good. Not a lot of upswing here, and we need to see an upswing. And ideally, somewhere in this green box, if that is right. I proposed community note claims original post at PT. Okay, hold on. I want to know more about what the hell is going on, because no one seems to be giving any crazy... Here, I'm just going to search this name at the moment and see what comes up. We're doing this raw, doing this live. Alexis is begging for help. Please continue to spread the message. So yes, let's actually hear it from her. Haven't posted for hours. I'm on 5 to 6 different opioids. All they are giving me is extreme pain meds that aren't helping my pain, just making me tired. I've been sleeping through my pain meds because it will not help me through, or they will not help me and are refusing to let me transfer. Please continue to share and show that they did to me. I want justice, and if I don't make it through the night, my family deserves justice for me. God bless this lady. Her head just keeps getting wider and wider. Can't they alleviate this?
Again, due to all the pain I'm in, I called the police and they told me I wasn't supposed to call because I'm in another hospital. But then they sent a bunch of police officers that work with the hospital
Look
in
at
here
this.
and told me
What is going
that
on?
they can't do anything.
My mom's a nurse. I'm going to have to actually send her this. This is insane. This is what she looked like beforehand, right? And she went to the hospital because she was having major headaches. She didn't have any vaccines, and then all of a sudden they pump her up with 3 vaccines all at once as an adult.
They're trying
And
to
this
kill
is...
me, and one of the doctors said to me, well, science is a medicine. And I said, or, yeah, medicine is science. So I said, sir, so what you're telling me is I'm your science experiment? Because they're saying they've never seen anything like this before. They admitted I am a science experiment.
Well, oh my gosh, look at her eyes. Even the top of her eyelids are swollen. Yo, it doesn't make sense. Why would you give someone vaccines? Well, man. Okay, here we go. Meet Alexis, who was admitted to the hospital in California and required a blood transfusion, and which she received. However, before receiving further treatment, she was mandated to get vaccines for meningitis, pneumonia, and tetanus. Since then, her condition has deteriorated, and despite her efforts to document everything, the hospital has reportedly become hostile towards her, resulting in inadequate care. They are denying her water, restricting her access to the bathroom, and only providing her with pain medication. Alexis has been keeping record of everything since she has been admitted to the hospital, but since hasn't shared any updates in over 13 hours. Her father, Todd, is also documenting the situation on Facebook. Are hospitals engaging in unethical practices? Question mark. Yes, they are businesses. They are multi-billion-dollar businesses, and we know when anything becomes a multi-billion-dollar business, there's a little bit of shady shit going on underneath the hood. Should her parents consider suing the hospital for negligence? Yeah, they should. Good luck actually winning the case, though, but they definitely should. Like, good luck. Please join me in a prayer for Alexis and her family. And for those of you who are religious, take a moment. Oh my God, there's a 9-minute video. Okay. Just so we can get an update or like a side-by-side comparison. Wow. Okay. This is Alexis. The music is everything. So this is just going to be a roll of all her stories. So instantly, we could start seeing over here, this is like right where your temple is at. And you have some major veins. So if she's having hemorrhaging or like blood clotting or I don't say blood clotting, I don't know what the hell this is. But it tells me that something ain't right up here. Something ain't right. Look at the swelling on top of her forehead there. Oh my God. Woke up to see I'm worse due to the malpractice of the hospital. My face and head are getting wider. I mean, oh my God, look at this. Look at her poor neck, even going down her neck and going down her back. Oh, poor thing. My neck is very tight and wider as well. Yeah, because it's swelling. And you're this to me, if anything, I'm not a scientist, right? But I think we can all agree that blood transportation is probably a little damaged. And if it's coagulating or drying, then that's even less flow for blood. And blood flow is everything for life, for sustainability. Oh, look at the sores on her back. Her scalp is literally dying.
Hello, my name is Alexis. The hospital gave me something that is making my face react like this. It's on my neck. It's on my face.
Her voice makes it so much worse. And I don't want to be, I'm not trying to be rude. Worse is in like, oh, my heart hurts. Like just those first few words of her just saying, hey, my name is Alexis. That, man, I might start crying by the end of this. I'm not even capping.
I'm on here trying to somehow spread some awareness of what is happening to me. I'm beyond scared. and everything on my body hurts. Please, TikTok, please help me, give me advice, do something.
God damn, we're in a bad place when you're in the hospital and you're begging for TikTok to send you something to help. Man, that is a much bigger thing than this video, but holy, my heart is hurting.
This video in case it gets worse. The medical world needs to see this, please. Hello, everyone. So I keep getting this question. They gave me a meningitis vaccine, a pneumonia vaccine,
Okay, so
and the tetanus vaccine all at once.
All at once, and as an adult, as a baby, that like when we're first born, within the first few weeks of life, we're supposed to get all these shots, and now, you know, as a full-blown adult, she's getting all of these, and this is just not taking all three of them at once. There's no way that there's a precedent for that, right?
Within a few minutes, my body started reacting, and over the past day, it was literally last night that they gave it to me. Over this past day, I have gotten 1,000 times worse. It's on my gums. You can't barely see.
She's literally like blood clotting all over.
And of course, my neck, it's on my feet, my toes, my back, and the back of my neck, and all over my scalp.
Look, like her hairline has retreated so much because of the swelling of her forehead.
It is also on my ears. It is absolutely the worst thing I've ever been through. I originally came in because I suffer from a blood disorder called PNH, Paroxysmal Nocturnal Hemoglobinuria. I was diagnosed with the blood disorder back in January of this year. I have since then moved to California and really tried to work on myself without getting any treatment for the disease, as they wanted to give me a bunch of vaccines, and I have never had a vaccine in my life. My family and I tend to not do vaccines due to religious preferences. We are Christians. I have never received a vaccine other than when I was a baby, and
yeah, well, I mean, okay.
The certain ones. My PNH was getting worse. I was having very bad symptoms of it, and I was having unbearable headaches to where I couldn't even stand. I was in bed for 2 weeks and didn't eat.
Holy shit.
I was just trying to wait for all of the symptoms to go away at home, but I just kept getting worse. The reason why I chose UCI Medical is because I literally live 3 minutes from this hospital. My hemoglobin was at 3.1 when I came in, and I got a few blood transfusions, and they raised it up. They want to do another bone marrow biopsy on me, as I had one in January, to show that I had this disease. They want to perform another one so that they can see what kind of PNH I have, but I'm
I was like, wait, what is that caption coming up for?
starting not to trust them at all, and I believe I will go back to Florida to do that. But it's just very hard to leave because I am all the way across the country. I'm in California, and I originally resided in Florida where my original doctor was. I got blood transfusions. My hemoglobin went back up to about a 7 or an 8, and they were ready to discharge me. But it didn't make sense because I was still having very bad symptoms of the PNH.
Yeah, they were like, we don't want you in this building anymore.
I didn't think I was ready to go home. The specialist who was overseeing my PNH disease ordered that I get some vaccines because in order to receive the treatment for PNH, you have to take the 3 vaccines that I mentioned earlier. I saw someone comment that this happened to them after they gave them a bunch of vaccines that they shouldn't have mixed together. I believe that is what's happening to me. Everyone keeps telling me to leave this hospital, but I want to, but I am so scared to leave in this condition. I have the air low, my body's hot. We put Benadryl on, and I finally accepted for them to give me a steroid to help my body strengthen up. But I've been holding off on anything else they want to give me because I'm afraid and I really don't trust them anymore. The specialist who ordered the vaccines ordered them and had 2 days off, so I have been waiting to possibly leave to see her and show her what she did to me, because this is wrong.
Oh my
Back in
God.
Florida, there's a lawyer called Dan Newlin. He's an amazing lawyer. I called him last night, and I will be setting up an appointment with him, and I will be suing this hospital.
Good for
The
you.
jaundice is setting in because part of PNH is liver failure, but they are not listening to me. Yesterday I had to ask for water for 2 hours.
Oh my
I had
God.
to pee in a bucket on the floor because nobody would come help me use the restroom. I have family with me, but it's just my sister, and she genuinely doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't either.
My fiance is trying to help, but he is also sick, so he decided to try and stay home, which I thought was best for him and me as well, because we don't want
Sure.
to make either of us worse. They gave me 2 vaccines
I
in
hope
my
that's
left
true.
arm and 1 in my right arm. I cannot move my arms at all or lift them, especially my right arm. This is the worst thing I've ever been through, and I really
Shit.
thing I've ever been through, and
God,
I
I'm
really
good.
want to leave, but again, I'm so scared to leave in this condition. I could barely sleep because I'm too afraid to sleep, and I won't wake up, but it just kept getting worse. I'm hoping they can fix this, and as soon as I'm unswelled, I don't mind the purple, but as soon as I'm not swelled anymore, I'm leaving this hospital and going to a new one,
Oh, her ears.
because this is just wrong. They're genuinely trying to kill me. They won't listen to anything, and all they want to do is pump me full of drugs, which is exactly what happened to my grandma. My grandma passed away a little over 10 years ago, and when she had lung cancer, the hospital just kept filling her with drug after drug after drug. She ended up leaving the hospital and going to hospice for a few days, and she got 1,000 times better and still lived for another 4 months.
And look at that. She got on hospice, which is non-preventative care. So you'd have to get off like the chemo and all the drugs for trying to combat cancer, and you go for holistic, like a holistic approach, and just ensure the quality of life, and try to enhance it for as long as possible. And she, as she said, she was able to make a good recovery.
But they genuinely drugged her up so bad that she was supposed to die. And I believe that is what's happening to me, because the specialist doesn't even care to come in and see me after she did this to me. Hopefully I answered all the questions. I will be trying to leave soon.
Oh,
Everything hurts so bad. This is just so disgusting and wrong. It's definitely malpractice, and these people don't know what they're doing because they let me sit for so long and didn't even know how to explain what was happening to me. They gave my sister a paper and started whispering to her that they didn't want to tell me the side effects of these vaccines together because they didn't want to scare me.
did they have her sister sign a DNR, which is a do not resuscitate?
That should be against the law. This is the
against
worst thing
law.
I've ever been through. And again, I will be suing. Hopefully I answered all questions. Again, please share my story. This is the most terrifying thing I've ever been through. Please just keep sharing my story and spreading what's happening to me. Nobody should ever trust this hospital. UCI Medical, Orange County, California.
And what's crazy is this is exactly, and I don't want to get crazy here with the tin hat, but this is exactly what RFK was combating for so long. He started out as an environmentalist, like a lawyer attacking these big corporations to clean up the rivers, and eventually mothers came up to him and like said, "Hey, you have to look at these medical records." And when he looked at them, he started realizing that there's so much aluminum in these vaccines, and came out with a book called The Real Anthony Fauci. And if that book is lies or has any lies in it, he should be getting sued, and he's not. And nobody is talking about it. Aluminum is widely used as a vaccine adjuvant to enhance the body's immune response. And because of it, it has been used in vaccines since the 1930s, and they are presumed safe despite studies showing otherwise. One thing that my layman self can explain, because it takes a doctor or somebody with like a PhD in this, or at least an understanding of at a level of a PhD to really articulate this, but there is something called the blood-brain barrier, which is exactly what it sounds like. There's a layer, there's a protective mesh around your brain to protect you from, bad things intruding. And aluminum goes straight through that bitch. So when they test aluminum in your body, it's testing for everything down here, but not inside that quote-unquote mesh within your head, or inside that blood-brain barrier, because the test doesn't penetrate that, right? It only does everything here. So all the vaccines supposedly from what I have understanding, a lot of the aluminum, or even just a little bit, could damage you, is resting up in some people's brains, causing a lot of different autoimmune disorders, and we can go down a whole list. I mean, we can go down a spectrum if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Researchers found that aluminum in vaccines spread throughout the body and ends up in our brains. No thanks to the nanoparticle size that they come in. Aluminum also causes macrophagic lesion in patients with chronic fatigue syndrome. So lesions, myofasciitis. I'm not gonna lie, I'm too dumb for this. Wait, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you for watching. One, please like, share, subscribe, not just for me, but to get this message for Alexis out there. But most importantly, if you're a clinical worker, if you're in the nursing field, please leave some dumbified, simplified version down of what the heck is going on. Because the more we learn about vaccines, especially putting vaccines in people or an aging population, we could see that there's just a lot of weird shit that happens. But please let me know what you think down below. If you don't agree with me, still let me know down below, and just be polite. No hate. It's only peace, love, positivity, and just spreading our opinions out there. So if you would, like the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.